What we're going to do today is start off by taking a simple model that I put together in SketchUp, and I'll show it to you in SketchUp to show you how it's been constructed, to show you a little bit about what the file looks like, and then we'll bring it into DoubleCAD and show how it comes into DoubleCAD and how quickly and easily you can work with a file like this to get started in actually documenting it. So let's start off by going into SketchUp and take a look. In here we've just created a simple model of Thoreau's cabin on Walden Pond. And with this one, what I've done is I've built most of the elements out of components in SketchUp and put most things on different levels. So for example, down here we've got the root cellar, we've got different siding, and on here I could actually show you if we were to take off the root cellar visibility or take off the siding. Quickly, once I take off the siding, you can see in this model I actually even built in some framing options and other types of things, which might be more detailed than you might do in a typical SketchUp model. What I've also done in here is, let me open the components window and show the components that are in model. And basically these are different beams that are used for all of this, and floor elements, the windows. So each major element here I've brought in as a component, and we'll see what happens with DoubleCAD and how we handle the components when they're coming in. Another thing to take a quick look at are the SketchUp scenes. So what I've done in SketchUp is with each scene you can set up the view, the camera, whether it's in perspective or not, whether it's essentially different layer visibility, which can be saved by scene. So that I could set up 2D views and different other elements here directly in SketchUp. And that way, when I go to DoubleCAD, I'll be able to bring these in and import all the images pretty much automatically. But let's go to DoubleCAD right now and take a look at what we've got in there. And this is exactly how it opens. So right now I had saved the file in scene 1, and so it opens with scene 1 created as a layout. If we go quickly to the model space first, we'll see that everything comes in wireframe mode. Now I can change all of that by changing the visual styles and going to hidden line. And if I want to, I can select an element, and then quickly right at the top you'll see we have a layer dialog, and it tells me that was on the root cellar layer, so I can turn that visibility off, and all the layers have come in just as they were in SketchUp. So I can actually do pretty much the same views that I had in SketchUp and take a look at things in the same sort of way. In this case, I believe that the model actually came in. If I look at the camera properties and click on camera, it did come in perspective view. I'm going to just turn that off right now, and I'm going to throw it right back into wireframe for the moment. So we can see, through the wireframe, all the different pieces and components. The other thing that I'm looking at here is in the block palette on the right, and you can see that all of the components were brought in as blocks. So I can grab the window or any of the different pieces that I've done just automatically. Another piece of what we're doing, and this is a piece that's probably a little unique compared to, for example, using the SketchUp BWG export in the SketchUp Pro, is what we've done with each of the SketchUp scenes. So if I take a look at the scenes, we've created a layout for each scene, and in each layout or paper space, what we've done is we've added a viewport, brought in that view, and we've managed the camera view in terms of perspective or 2D views, and also handled all of the layer visibility as well. What I want to do right now is go to Tools and take a look at one of my other palettes. The Design Director gives us a very good view of all the layers and layer information, and so here I can see the layer visibility for this viewport. And just if I go across to the side view or to the front view, actually, I apologize, that isn't the layer visibility of the viewport, that's the layer visibility currently in model space. The layer visibility in the viewport I could see by double-clicking or clicking on the viewport, right-click, and selecting Properties, And in here under the viewport, we'll show the layer visibility by viewport. Perhaps you set up 50, 75 different views in SketchUp for different scenes, each of which has a different configuration of layer visibility. That can save you an awful lot of time in terms of the setup, but it can also really help to reduce errors in terms of trying to recreate those types of views. So what I might do next at this stage is maybe take this and let's make it a larger and different paper size. So I'm going to go and right-click on the Layout tab and select its properties in the drop-down menu. And here, where we have a lot of different options, I'm going to select Page Setup, change it to Landscape, and then from here, let's go with a D-size paper. And as you can see right now, I've got a lot more room to play with. By selecting this, I've got the handles. I can just move that to another location. Let's put it up in here. And one of the things that I want to do is now bring in the other views. So I'm going to take the side view here and just right-click on that viewport, and I get the context menu. I'm going to copy, go right back over to where I was, and in here, right-click, paste, and there's my viewport. Everything's copied over. I'm going to bring the front one in as well. Let's select it, right-click, copy, back to this page, right-click, and paste it in. And it pastes right over into the same spot. So for right now, let's just move that across. And I want to get this aligned. So I've got my snaps and my geos on. So snap to the midpoint of this one. And now I can snap to the midpoint there, find that intersection, drop it in, and they're all aligned. So I can select this viewport, and let's select this second viewport. Now I'm going to right-click and get the properties of the viewport. This time what I want to do is I'm going to change these to a hidden line view, and I'm also going to turn off the visible box around the viewports because I don't really feel we need that. And click OK. And so these are now in hidden line view, and there's no more box around them. And the reason I didn't do the top one at the same time as I did these two is because the top one actually has different layer visibility set up. And so it's important that when you're doing this, that if I had done all three at the same time, because I'd be saving from this viewport page, I would have changed the layer visibility on the different items. So if you have different visibility, right now that step has to be handled separately. I've got the different views. They're all aligned. I could simply step in and start working to do dimensions or other things. So I'm going to select the orthogonal dimension. And the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click before using that tool and select the Tools properties. Because what I'd like to make sure is that in the units tolerance, right now it's under decimal, and I think what I'd like to do is use architectural units for this one. And of course, what I can zoom in, grab the snap points, drag out, and you see the 4 3/4 inches right now. That's the actual size on the paper space. But when I click to release this, it'll convert based on the scaling. So I'm getting an actual 10-foot, which matches what I have in the model space. A couple of other examples now is that if I go back here and switch to, for example, a parallel dimension, and I take an item like, oops, I didn't get the right point there. There we go. And pull this out, it's already converted to the architectural. So it continues to use the same items from that perspective. So as you can see right off the bat, just very quick, bringing in the SketchUp model, if I've already created the scenes, I brought them in, I have all the right layer visibility, everything that I'm looking for. And this is all standard functionality you'd find in DoubleCAD XT. DoubleCAD XT Pro essentially takes things a little bit further.